things, which I'm going to abstract because for plot purposes. And so he just absolutely blows the he absolutely strips the protections on the rotodrone. He gets access to the manufacturer test menus. The device is now in OU in your control. You can ask it anything and it will respond. It will, you know, he's got complete control on that. So he's like, yeah, cool, man. I've got the password. I've got the password. I've got the operations manager. I've got its history of used networks. It looks like it was connecting to a KE pan. That's not cool. It used to have like a Ares Alpha mounted on it. Now it had like a camera, and now it had nothing. And, you know, diagnostics menu. Do you want to look at the diagnostics menu, Bishop? And he sort of looks expectantly at Bishop.
Yep.
Yep. So he's like, okay, and he brings it up on. He's got like his comlink on his wrist, and it. No, I got a better idea. So he plays with his side. He plays with the cyber deck physically, like he manipulates some switches on it, and all of a sudden you have like a Wi-Fi plot hotspot, so you can all connect in that room. Inside that room, there's a pan and interface with the drone directly, and so you're able to call up the diagnostics menu, and it starts reporting things like sensor, wing balance sensor. Report status nominal, health of gyrojet stabilizer aircraft thingy, critical, please contact manufacturer. It has a couple of service codes, and then it indicates that basically it's trying to tell you that what you can see in the real world, the only thing that's wrong with it is that broken wing.
Alrighty.
So it's like if you picture a helicopter and it has one blade broken off.
That's the only thing wrong.
That's the only thing wrong. And it doesn't have any.
That's not good though. It messes with the balance.
Yeah.
And it also indicates to you that it is whilst it's now been cracked and converted over to the cores, it was a KE drone. And it tells you the history of the weapons and the things that it's had in its mount. So at one point it had an Ares Alpha well before the start of the riots, and then it had a Ingram smart gun that was loaded with stick and shock or capsule rounds, you know, at various times when you look through the logs. And because it's a corporation, you've got to be accountable for all your genocidal maniacs.
Hey Bishop, see if there was a camera mounted on it.
I thought there was sensors.
Yep, there was definitely a camera mounted on it at some point. And if you look now, you'll find there is.
Yeah, look through that. Look through the video file.
Wait, did you guys fix the deck?
Yeah, we did.
We fixed the deck. He fixed it. It was fixed so well, and then he propeller head plugged into the drone, and he rolled 8 hits and completely smashed it and converted it over. So I kind of abstracted the matrix stuff, but propeller head we now have control of that drone.
Yeah, I think propeller is better suited at looking at the files.
Well, propeller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So propeller head looks through, and he says that he's like it had some files, but they seem to have been corrupted. It might even be that the memory modules in it are damaged because if it broke a blade and it fell from the sky, but it just won't let me open the files. It's not even like they're encrypted. It's just like it thinks for a little bit, and then it's like file not found, cannot read, header, may be corrupted. Please contact manufacturer for replacement and repair.
No way. There's no way to save those files.
You could have propeller head perform there's no way to reconstruct them at the moment because you're in the wrong setting for it, but you could totally have propeller head copy it off byte for byte raw, and but it still doesn't mean you'll be able to open it. You'd need someone on the surface to reconstruct it, or someone with access to reconstructive, like data recovery gear.
Yeah, have him save. I'm gonna ask him to save the file and transfer it to my comlink, so I'll at least have the corrupted file, and then later I can restore it possibly.
Okay, he's like, oh, what I'll do is I'll put it on a data chip for you. I think it'll just be one data chip, but it's going to take a couple of hours because we have to read each byte and then write it back, and it's complicated, but I can do it for you. There's no worries.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, no problem, bro. Thank you very much for fixing my deck. Listen, if you need a hand with anything, just let me know. I mean, I'm an orc teenager. Like, the KE usually leave me alone, usually. So, like, even when I'm out, like, I just say I was at my girlfriend's, and they usually just let me go. It's almost like some of the KE guys recognise me now, and they're just like, whatever, just go home, kid. They don't think I'm trouble.
I keep that in mind.
He's just like, oh, no, cracked one of their drones. Stupid fucks. He's really gloating about that. So it's not broadcasting or anything like that. Like, he's taking complete control of it. It's his now, or yours now. And so that ends that section. So you guys can go back to Lucy's if you like. It's probably about... Desmond, what time did you say you were coming out of?
3.
All day?
No, just 3 p.m.
About 4?
3 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah, around 3 p.m.
So everybody can make their way back to Lucy's place for 4 p.m. if you guys like. Unless you wanted to go, you could also scout around the town. But you would probably need to make sure you have an underground escort with you.
No, I think we're heading back.
Yeah, head to Lucy's.
Yep.
I wouldn't need an underground escort, would I?
No, you big and scary.
No, you wouldn't. Warden would, but you wouldn't. You'd be free to wander about town yourself.
Well, maybe I should just wander about, like, outside of this escort, see what people have to see.
Yep. So Warden and Jake the Musk can head back, and you could choose to go a different direction, but then you would be on your own and you'd need to navigate and things like that.
I think I can handle that.
Yeah, cool. So, Warden?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm going with Jake.
Cool. So, Jake, Warden, Propellerhead, Bishop, and Jacket, they're all heading back to Lucy's place. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. When you walk back in, Lucy's cooking up a bit of a storm. She's having people around tonight, and that's usually how these things go. They have a bit of a party. I mean, they party pretty regularly because that's how they are. They're like big community, big family, bring everyone together. That's sort of their ideology. And so she's there cooking. She's like, oh, hey, honeys, how are you all? How was your day?
It's grim out there, but I think we can help.
Yeah, I'm really glad to hear that. And, it's home, but it's home is where the heart is and all that. But it's tough times down here at the moment. Really tough times. So she offers you coffee, beer, an afternoon snack, which would consist of, low calorie, like soy chickpeas or something, dung beetle, chipotle yogurt, blah, blah, blah. Shiloh, what would you like to do, mate?
Basically just take, the roundabout course back to Lucy's, see what the street activity is like,
Okay.
ask some people, like, what is going on up in this spot?
So on your map that Lucy gave you, which is a static map, there's locations marked out for mobile surveillance hub, what they call Centertown, which is, pardon me, sorry guys, the crossroad, that crossroad that you first saw when you came in and you were peeping, everyone was peeping through the bolt holes, and where Bishop's surveillance was the night previous. There's the infirmary, which you're currently at. There is a suspected KE base, like the direction that they would come from, which is way over, kind of off the map, away from here. There's like a market location. There's a bar. There's also a location which has a question mark on it. There's no annotation. There's just a question mark. And it's in scratcher colours.
Mysterious.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I definitely want to maybe check out that surveillance station and the guard post, but I don't want to get close. I've got some pretty whiz eyeballs.
Sweet. So, what you can do is, if you want to make your way to the mobile surveillance hub, if you wanted to do that, I'll need you to roll navigation for me,
All right.
because you'll need to work out how you're going. Tarantula banana cake. That sounds great. Yep, that's perfect. So you're able to work out how to get towards the surveillance hub from here, but you're not aware of any back alleys. Like you just you would think to yourself, I'll walk down the main thoroughfares, which you can start doing.
I'm assuming, the picture in my mind anyway is it's like a shed type thing with a big satellite dish on top of it, maybe on the top of a hill or something like that.
Have you ever seen at sporting events when they're broadcasting them and there's no dedicated satellite
So it's
uplink?
like the trailer thing with the big telescoping satellite dish deal.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, except that they don't really have a big satellite because it's just blocked. But they would be using it much like it's a surveillance hub and almost a command center, but it still doesn't have a link to the outside world.
All right. Well, I'm just scoping it
If to help
hard.
sure.
I've
Satellite
got vision mag, vision enhancement, thermo, low light.
So, if you could just roll me so you start making your way, you know where you're going. Can you roll perception for me, please?
Sure. This is a visual check, I assume.
Yep. Perfect. So, you walk along and you look ahead and you see that there's two, as you're walking along the street, on one of the street corners, there's two KE guards. They're just hanging out, talking. Again, one's having a cigarette. They've both got their helmets off. Again, they're minding their business. They are watching people. One's got his rifle up in low ready, but the other one's just smoking a cigarette and being a little bit complacent, I guess you could say. As you walk past, they don't really notice you. They sort of look at you because you're a troll and you're 9 foot. But they're like, just another meta.
I'll put an AR tag on that location, mark it 2 guards.
Yep. If you were to look down if you looked like you're going straight and it's a T intersection, if you looked down the left, you would see that there is a KE patrol making its way down the street. And they've got helmets on and they've got their right control gear out. But it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They're just going for a walk to see what's happening. They're just patrolling. People are ignoring them or not looking them in the eye. But you'll find that it's just a KE patrol walking around the streets at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you're able to continue on to your destination, and you get about a block from where the surveillance hub location's marked out. And using your vision mag, you could see that there's a lot of KE milling around. There are guards. They are reasonably alert. But you also notice that there's a cafe. There's actually like a pharmacy and a school building.
So they parked this thing in the middle of a school, like their hub.
They've looked like a school. They've kind of occupied it and turned it over to their purposes.
I see. All right.
Which is unpopular. They're still running classes, but very unpopular with the locals, of course. So there's also a cafe, which has it's on like a corner, and it's double-story, and there's windows. Cafe/restaurant thing. There's windows that if you were sitting in there and you were nearby, you'd probably observe outside the window, and you could look out the window. Sorry, and you could find that. I need more coffee. You would be able to watch the activities of the people at the surveillance hub. There we go, got there. Took me 4 goes to spit that out.
I see. All right.
So you've got some choices. You